Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Baked goods fresh from the oven. Come and get them.
I hope I can...
I've heard that some pilgrim was selling off pieces.
Did that Sasso dab?
Why?
Why? Because there was nothing left for him. And now he's envious and wants some too.
Man, isn't there some...
No way. See you later.
Just this morning. Bread. Bread, fresh bread.
Cucumbers! Holy cucumbers! The fruit!
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad you're here.
What's happening, sir?
Uncle Sahanush sent for me. No.
Sorry, Sir Hans, but I'd say you have...
What?
I understand how Sir Hamish feels about your boozing and...
I see. And if you're so concerned about my moral welfare...
Well, someone has to keep an eye...
As I recall, you were mostly keeping an eye on your tankard. But if you really want to watch out for me...
All right, we should get going then.
I suppose so. Right away. I put some of my old clothes in a trunk for you, but I see it wasn't necessary. You look as smart as any courtier.
Thanks. I'll try my best.
So I see. But you can come and get those clothes later anyway. There are...
Well, my ward and his, what shall we say, chaperone.
Uncle.
My lord?
I hope we haven't dragged you away from anything too important.
Not at all, Uncle. We
like
were just...
boozing and whoring, for instance.
Uncle, I can...
Perhaps you were busy, causing mayhem in the middle of the night and beating up my subjects.
No, it wasn't... Henry and I were just...
Henry's as big a fool as you are. But he's not my ward, thank Christ. What the hell do the pair of you think you're doing? There are people in this fiefdom who work from dawn to dusk to put food on their tables, and on yours, may I remind you. And then they look at you, Hans, their lord and master, and see a drunken layabout. That fellow you beat up last night was a guard, a new guard on the town watch. And he couldn't report for duty this morning because of his injuries. I had the bailiff here complaining, and could I tell him what I really think about this whole sorry affair? Of course not. That would demean me. And you too. So I had to sit gaping like a stuffed owl and listen to his grievances. Maybe you think because you're the lord here you can get away with anything. But you're sadly mistaken, you blockhead. A lord remains a lord only as long as he commands the loyalty of his subjects. And I'm sure I don't have to tell you the folk here are not exactly enchanted at the prospect of having you in charge. That was the last straw, Capon. One more of your escapades and I'll send you to your mother in Polnar. For all I care, she can dress you up like a wench and marry you off to some Hungarian.
Uncle, that arson... Archibald tried to murder me. What was I to do?
Oh, don't exaggerate. Well, I'm hardly surprised after you molested his girl and humiliated him.
I was only...
Oh,
I'm
don't
so-
whine, for heaven's
sorry.
sake. It's about time you started taking some responsibility. I have a job for you. Maybe that will keep you out of mischief. Sir Milota of Oleshna has turned up here. Do you know him?
Isn't he Sir Bernard's cousin?
He is. He came here with the remnants of his retinue to seek refuge. He's seriously wounded.
What happened to him, sir?
His fortress Oleshna was attacked by one Wulfrin of Camburg. Milota pursued him almost as far as Neuhof and engaged with him. Unfortunately, the skirmish didn't end well for Milota.
Wulflin of Camberg. That name is familiar.
He's kin to the Oleshna lords, too. A cousin of Bernard's and Milota's. Their family affairs are a little complicated. None of my business, of course. I just wish they'd found somewhere else to thrash out their differences.
What do you want us to do, sir?
Go and see Bernard in the courtyard. He got a report that Wulfrin pillaged some other farms around Neuhof, and he's putting a squad together to ride against him. Mind your step, though. It's a family affair. After all, maybe more to it than meets the eye. The important thing is to get that damn scavenger out of the domain. If possible, without bloodshed. I can't afford to lose any men over this business. Have I made myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Very well, Uncle.
Get to work, then.
Ach часто chodzi z dziećmi ku tobie, ku Panu Bogu se pomodlić, aby po każdej życiu
Good day, Henry.
Has anyone seen my belt? I can't find it
Good
anywhere.
gracious, it's Henry,
If you
champion of the
could
Rat-Eye tourney.
maybe you wouldn't keep losing your things.
So, what do you think about this?
Old Hannah, she's right about one thing. It's time to stop chasing wench.
I agree.
I don't like it.
I was worried.
Why would I?
You get
I
paid.
finally have a chance to show
Can't
Uncle what.
take it with
We'll
you,
ride there,
can ya?
hack those
Everyone
bastards to
has
pieces.
die sometime. Soldiering's
But
a
Sir
good
Hanish said we
job.
should get them out of the fiefdom without bloodshed
And how else do you suppose we can do that?
with diplomacy.
You can't parley with criminals. That would just damage Uncle's reputation. Enough talk.
There was
Good
a
luck
raid
then.
on one of the farms nearby. These are evil times. I never knew Bernard had a kin. He didn't fall out of the sky.
Sir Hanish sent me, Captain. I'm to join your mission. And Sir Hans, too.
Then mount up, youngster, and we'll move out. Lord Capon, when we get there, I'd like you to hold back.
You can forget about that, Bernard. I'm not going for an outing. Hanish sent me to handle this matter, and handle it I will. I know what you meant, Captain.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Very well, Your Grace.
Listen, Bernard. About this robber. I heard some rumors.
About his being a relative of mine, the Melodas?
Something like that.
We have the same great-grandfather, Urban, Baron of Aleshna. Wolfen belongs to a distant branch of my family, which, well, let's just say they bring no honor to our name.
But I heard Wolfen of Camberg was hanged somewhere in Silesia after plundering the bishop's estates.
I heard the same, only, well, I'm sure you've heard what they say about the Camberg branch of my family.
That they're cursed. Now, Bernard, don't you think I'm a little old for fairy tales?
Think what you like, but I heard it from my grandfather, and he never paid attention to old wives' tales.
I meant no offense, Captain. Well, tell me all about it then. After all, there's no smoke without fire, and I never heard about the Camberg man from a member of the family.
Very well. At home, we always spoke in whispers about our Camberg relatives. When Wolfen's father, Wilhelm, came to visit, I'm almost ashamed to say it.
You can rely on my discretion, Captain. Carry on.
Well, the servants were so afraid of him that they went and hid in the barn. Father had them whipped. Even then, they wouldn't go near Wilhelm. They were afraid he cursed them. I couldn't blame them.
Why's that?
Wilhelm's face was so badly disfigured, folk would cross themselves when they saw him. I was afraid of him myself as a boy.
Was he wounded in war?
No, he was born that way. You see, his mother, Countess Barbara of Hogwitz, didn't want to marry Wilhelm's father, my grandfather's brother. She never wanted to bear his children. So, she fell pregnant. They say she was a witch to get rid of the child. Only she ended up having quintuplets. Can you imagine it? 5 babes born in one night?
Jesus Christ!
That's not all. 4 of them didn't live till dawn. Only the 5th survived. He was disfigured. Wilhelm, they say the witch cheated her. Instead of getting rid of the child, she put the devil's seed inside her.
Good Lord, how dreadful!
Well, Wilhelm carried that with him his whole life. His own wife was in childbed. He had 7 friars kneeling in her chamber day and night. Didn't stop the rumors, though. When his son, Wolfen, was born, he looked normal enough. But he turned out to be as wild as a stray tomcat.
Yeah. It seems he hasn't grown out of it.
You're right about that. A few years ago, Wolfen went off to Poland, and Wilhelm got worse and worse. He cursed everything and everyone in his past, starting throwing crockery at the servants. He was on his deathbed. He sent for a priest, not just to give him the last rites, because they were afraid the devil would come out of him and possess someone else. Then later, Wolfen turned up, even though he was supposed to be dead for years. Folk said he was dead. That wouldn't stop the devil's spawn.
Sweet Jesus. It sounds a lot more convincing coming from you than the stories my nurses used to tell me. How are we supposed to deal with a monster like that?
Whoa! Vitus and Cyril. I sent them to scout ahead.
Those bastards will pay for this.
They most certainly will. Let's go. We have to make camp. Hamlin, take 2 men and come back here later. I won't have Vitus and Cyril left as Krogan.
Yes, Captain.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
Henry's come to see us.
Yeah.
Watch where you're going, you lout! You nearly killed me!
I'm glad to see you.
Tell me, Captain, how come this Wolfen is a...
They say blood's thicker than water, but
So what's the cause of your conflict?
nothing in particular. Just that he's a ruffian.
How are you related?
Milota, Wolfen and I have the same...
How do you mean cursed?
Like I said, Wolfen's grandfather married Countess Barbara of Hogwitz, only instead of getting rid of the...
What, all at the same time?
all in one night. But only one of them lived till morning. The youngest, Wilhelm.
And you believe that?
Depends how you look at it. Wilhelm wasn't a bad man while he was in his right mind, but he was terrifying to look at. As for Wolfen, word came that he died in Silesia.
What do we do now?
First, we have to find out where those Horsens are holed up. So someone should go to those places and find out what they can. You should do it, Henry.
All right, Captain. I'll do that.
One is uphill from Neuhof, right by the woods. One here above the woods by the crossroad. Goodbye.
Greetings. Good luck then.
Yeah.
I'm just a stupid woman. I don't understand these.
Good health to you.
Captain Bernard sent me.
Well, they came, took everything they could, and rode off again.
We're trying to catch up with that gang, so...
What do you want to...
How many of them?
2 or 3. I'm not sure.
Which way did they get?
I don't know. I wasn't watching.
So your husband was out?
Yes, he tried...
What did they take?
Not much. We haven't a pot to piss in.
So you're telling me they came here, you told them...
More or less.
But just a while ago, you told me you were indoors.
Ah,
So were you inside or outside?
well, like I said...
Look here, I'm not sure what happened here, but I can't shake...
No! It's just...
I'm the one who's bewildered. Let me make one thing clear. Those bandits, if we don't catch him, they'll be hell to pay. So you better...
Lord Jesus.
So,
First, promise me you'll...
that's exactly what I'm here for.
They came a few days ago, took a pig and a sack of apples. I noticed one of them had an injured leg.
Why would you help those
They didn't behave violently towards us.
Go on.
They rode off, and I prayed we'd seen the last of them. Only the same. One of them had been wounded, and they wanted me to take a look at him. They gave me some coin and took me to their camp.
I understand.
They didn't exactly threaten me. They didn't have to.
Don't worry. Begging your pardon, but are you soft in the head? If I hadn't
I know I should have told you.
So you know where they're...
I won't go to their camp, no.
That'll do me.
God be with you.
I'm not going any further. If they saw me, I'd be done for. The camp's not far away in this direction.
Thanks. And don't worry. I'll deal with those bastards.
I pray you do.
Looks like I found it. I'd better get back and report to Captain Bernard.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I found that encampment.
Ah, I'm glad.
Not really.
How many men did you...
Look out!
Well, if it isn't the...
So, I. But
And you... Take care.
He didn't fall out of the sky. Everyone's got kin. Aye, but that he's from a noble family. They've got a
Sir Hanish sent me.
And mount up, youngster. Lord Capon, when we get there, I'd like you to hold.
Forget about that. Hanish said to handle this matter, and I will.
Undoubtedly, Sir Hanish. I just meant...
Yeah.
I know what you meant, Captain. Forget it.
Very well, Your Grace.
Yeah.
Listen, Bernard. About this robber. I heard some rumors.
Yeah. About his being a relative of mine, Dolores?
Something like that.
We have the
Yeah.
same great-grandfather, Urban, Baron of Oleshna. Wolfen belongs to a distant branch of my family, which... They bring no honor to our name.
But I heard
I heard the same.
Yeah.
Only, well, I'm sure you've heard what they say about the Camberg branch of my family.
that they're cursed. Now, Bernard,
Yeah.
don't you think I'm a little old for the fairy tales?
Think what you
Yeah.
like. I heard it from my grandfather that he never paid attention to old wives' tales.
I meant no offense.
Yeah.
Well, tell me all about it then. After all, there's no smoke without fire. And I never heard about the Camber family.
Very well. At home, we always spoke in whispers about our Camberg relatives. Wolfen's father, Wilhelm, came to visit. Almost ashamed to say it.
You can rely on my discretion, Captain. Carry on.
Well, the servants were so afraid of him that they went and hid in the barn. Father had them whipped. Even then, they wouldn't go near Wilhelm. They were afraid he cursed them. I couldn't blame them.
Why's that?
Wilhelm's face was so badly disfigured, folk would cross themselves when they saw him. I was afraid of him myself as a boy.
Was he wounded in war?
No, he was born that way. See, his mother, Countess Barbara of Hogwitz, didn't want to marry Wilhelm's father, my grandfather's brother. She never wanted to bear his children. So, she fell pregnant. They say she went to a witch to get rid of the child. She ended up having quintuplets. Can you imagine it? 5 babes born in one night?
Jesus Christ!
That's not all. 4 of them didn't live till dawn. Only the 5th survived. He was disfigured. Wilhelm. They say the witch cheated her. Instead of getting rid of the child, she put the devil's seed inside her.
Good Lord, how dreadful!
Well, Wilhelm carried that with him his whole life. When his own wife was in childbed, he had 7 friars kneeling in her chamber day and night. It didn't stop the rumors. When his son, Wolfen, was born, he looked normal enough. Turned out wild as a stray dog.
It seems he hasn't grown out.
Right about that. A few years ago, Wolfen went off to Poland, and Wilhelm got worse and worse. He cursed everything, everyone in his path, starting throwing crockery at the servants. He was on his deathbed. He sent for a priest, not just to give him the last rites, but he was afraid the devil would come out of him and possess someone else. Then
Yeah.
Wolfen turned up, even though he was supposed to be dead for years. Oh,
God be with you, Henry!
that wouldn't stop the devil's spawn.
Sweet Jesus. It sounds a lot more convincing coming from you than the stories my nurses used to tell me. How are we supposed to deal with a monster like that?
Pray. Whoa! Vitus and Cyril. I sent them to scout ahead.
Those bastards will pay for this.
They most certainly will. Let's go. We have to make camp. Hamlin, take 2 men and come back here later. I won't have Vitus and Cyril left as crow meat.
Yes, Captain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah! Watch what you're doing. There's people walking here.
I'm glad.
How? What?
What? See you later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Feeling better?
I'm fine now. Good afternoon.
Cap.
What?
How many? Which one? So.
Yeah.
What did? So.
More.
But.
What?
Oh, if so, that's.
I.
Why would you go on?
They,
I don't. Begging. I'll be.
take care.
God grant you help.
Cap.
What?
They raided your farm, didn't they?
No.
Your wife just told me the bandit.
Ah.
What are you on about? Are you trying to tell me bandits are?
She can be quite firm.
Enough.
All right. They were here.
Why would you get into?
My wife was at their camp.
So they threatened.
They didn't have to.
So your wife? No.
Unfortunate.
No, it's fortunate she does.
Take care now.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
God grant
Captain Bernard sent me to.
those filthy cutthroats beat my husband black and blue. Poor Lumiere. He didn't want to let them get away with it, so he chased them as far as...
Did you see which way?
Along the track here, straight into the woods. My old man gave chase.
You think he might have been bleeding enough?
Maybe. Who knows?
What were they like?
Swine and lousy...
That's not what I.
No, they weren't your ordinary footpads. They were well dressed.
I thought. Is there something I can do to help?
I fear only God Almighty. There is one thing you could do. I have to keep changing...
I'll see what I've got.
God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. I'm grateful. I'll go and bandage him up. I've nothing left here except a few groschen I buried down by the creek.
Keep it. You need it more than I. They took everything you had.
Not everything, because you saved my dear husband. Take it.
Very well then.
Good luck, then.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Have you any idea who...
Indeed, a suspicious person.
Then I hope you're guarding them well, because I am Henry of Skalitz, the new man.
Oh. Ah. Right.
Very well. But now, gamekeeper, don't detain me any longer.
Of course, Master Huntsman. My apologies.
That's all right.
More blood. Must be close. He was bleeding plenty. Should be easy to track him. Blood. This is the right way. This is the way. More blood. Must be close. This is the way. More blood. Must be close. Blood. This is the right way. Looks like this is the right way. He was bleeding plenty. Should be easy to track him. This is the way. That looks like blood. Looks like I found it. I'd better get back and report to Captain Bernard.
What's going on there? Who's there? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
More blood. Must be close.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I found that in
Huh.
Not really.
How many men did you see?
Around 10.
The same as us. Well, now we'll see if my cousin is really as tough as...
Wouldn't it be better to parley with them, sir?
Parley with robbers? You must be out of your mind.
Sir Hanish ordered me to avoid unnecessary casualties.
What are you trying to say?
I could go and parley with Wolflin. Even if it comes to nothing.
Bit of spying. Wolflin's a conceited bastard. If he knows you come from me, I'll give you a livery with my coat of arms, so it's clear you're my messenger.
Thank you, Captain.
I hope so. Try and come back in one piece. I don't want to explain to Sir Radzig why I sent his favorite into a robber baron's camp unarmed. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Heyo. Good. You'll...
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you! What do you want?
I'm Captain Bernard's envoy. I'm here to parley.
Why should I trust you?
I'm unarmed. What harm can I do?
That's true. And you are wearing...
You have my word.
Who do we have here? What's your name, boy?
Henry. I'm a messenger from...
I know. From my beloved... So...
Why do you want to hurt the Lord?
That bastard Malotta stole villages that belonged to my father. I was in Poland when...
You came back, though, did
I came back. But Malotta bribed the priest to testify that my father made him a deathbed confession. So they think I rose from the dead and I'm a warlock.
That's unfortunate. But surely...
Maybe not. But the king's in captivity, and none of the nobles have...
I heard some interesting tales about...
So Bernard's been telling those stories again.
So your father...
What? A twisted mouth? Aye. Looked like it was run over by a wagon. And he was...
What's that?
That my grandmother was one of 5 babes and her mother one of 4. And then that talk of the witch. Pah! My grandma couldn't wait to marry my grandfather and give him children.
We offer you safe conduct out of this domain if you leave everything you stole from Zahanish's subjects.
That's a very generous offer.
Your quarrel is with Milotta, not with Bernard. And certainly not with...
So?
So leave Sir Hanish's domain and settle your differences with...
My quarrel is with everyone who helps Milotta.
Hanish's captain is Sir Milotta's cousin. What did you expect?
That's no concern of mine. It's really very simple. Anyway, I don't claim to be a saint. It's all...
I think...
You know what? I think you're only here to buy time.
My hum.
Cap. How much? Which one?
I.
So,
Yeah.
what? Say.
More.
But.
What?
Look. So, that's.
I.
Why? Go on.
They,
Don't. Beg it.
take care.
God save you.
Cap. They. You what? What are you in? What? So. No.
Farewell.
Jesus.
Cap.
Poor.
Did you? You what was that? Is that?
I. I. Not God be with you.
What are you doing?
Have you any idea?
Indeed.
Another trace. They dragged him this way. He was bleeding plenty. Should be easy to track him. Another trace. They dragged him this way. This is the way. Another trace. They dragged him this way. That looks like blood. Looks like I found it. I better get back and report to Captain Bernard.
I'd be.
Not. Wouldn't.
What do you. Good luck then.
He was bleeding plenty. Should be easy to track him.
Hey, you!
I'm Captain.
Why should I try?
You.
Fucking weather, fucking tents, fucking camp. I've had enough of this. Just want to eat, sleep. Fuck.
Hoodoo.
Why?
That.
I. So, what?
That my.
Should have stayed home.
We offer.
I'm so tired.
Because you don't know what you're up against.
Don't I?
Sir Hanush has a guest in Rattay. The royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kobyla.
Of course. What of it?
Sir Radzig's gathering forces in Rattay to march. So I'm sure you understand that your family quarrel, or rather your way.
Say no more. I heard Radzig was driven out of Skalitz, but I didn't know he was in Rattay.
So you'll leave?
I wouldn't want to go up against an old friend.
You know each other?
Indeed we do. Give him my regards, won't you? And when he marches against Sigismund by the grace of God, tell him to send word to me. And now go back and tell that Oleshna Viper that we're moving out. But don't let him think he's frightened us off. It's out of respect for Sir...
I'll tell him. You're doing the right thing.
Run along, then.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I've just come back from Wolf.
And in one piece, I see. That's something.
I talked them into moving. Not only that, but they left all their loot.
I can hardly believe it. That turned out a lot better than I expected.
Naturally.
Well then, take the money. In the meantime, we'll break camp and make sure those bastards keep their part of the...
Right, Captain.
And Henry, nice work. See you later.
God bless you.
I went to parley with...
So how did that...
I convinced him to take his...
Really? I knew you were no fool, but that's something else. You're a born diplomat, Henry.
I don't know about that.
Don't be so modest. We have to drink to this. Take care.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Greetings.
I have news from the camp.
Speak.
I persuaded Captain Bernard to let me parley with Wolflin.
Bernard agreed.
So was I. I promised Wolflin safe conduct out of your territory on condition he leave all the loot he took and pay 60 gross.
Well done. It will take Bernard a while to get over his disappointment. I must say, Henry, after all that's happened recently,
So am I, sir.
that I think you deserve.
Thank you, sir.
God be with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
God's.
Can we do... Is this enough?
That's not.
You lay your hands about. They stuff themselves with sweetie.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus,
Get my...
I'm. God be with.
Yeah.
I put on the dress you gave me, Henry. What do you think? What do you take me for, Henry?
Good. You'll.
First.